Hey, thanks for tuning in. You are currently listening to Everything and the Gym podcast. And today I had the honor to sit down with Allen Vanderhorst as we talk about bodybuilding and the gym and what all it means to him while maintaining fatherhood and running his own business. Make sure you follow along to hear all of the story, and we hope you enjoy. Thanks to our sponsor, Maximus Nutrition. Are you ready to elevate your workout or exercise performances? Hop on over to their two locations. There is one on Sunset Drive. The other is over on Knickerbocker for all of your top tier supplement and protein needs. Hello. Welcome back to Everything and the Gym. Now, this guest, I actually had sit down with me in season 3, and the audio didn't take, and I could not post it, and we didn't get around to recording. But before I tell you who that is, we have to give a special shout out to our sponsors, Training from the Ground Up, Orange Theory Fitness, and Maximus Nutrition. Are you guys ready? Who are you?
My name is Allen Vanderhorst. I'm a business owner for Allen and AJ's Mobile Window Tinting, and I love going to the gym.
Yeah. Okay. I ask everybody this question. How old are you?
I am 37. I'll be 38 in October.
All right. So you are a dad. How many children do you have?
I have 2 boys, Allen and AJ.
Okay. Let's get into, when did fitness start becoming your life? Like, not your life. When did it come into your life?
Both of my parents, they were both in the military. My whole family was in the military. So I've always liked fitness, but I didn't really get into it myself personally until I found out my wife was pregnant with my first son. That's when I really started dedicating time for bodybuilding.
Did you play sports?
No, I didn't play any sports. My parents were in the military, so we moved around a lot.
Yeah. Do you think it would have impacted you differently if you had played sports?
Definitely, I think, my body would probably be a lot more beat up if I played sports, so I'm kind of grateful for that. But at the same time, would have developed differently versus not playing sports and then jumping into bodybuilding, really starting from the bottom and learning everything as far as food, nutrition, training, and everything. So I think it would have helped, but I'm grateful that I didn't. So I think everything worked out.
Yeah. Okay, so what was like the initial, like, I need to go to the gym? Like, what was that for you in the very beginning?
Honestly, the gym is like therapy. It's like a place where you can go be yourself, kind of push your own limits. I like talking to people, but at the same time, I put on my headphones and it's time to go to work. And I like to push my body to the limit and see what it is that I'm actually capable of doing.
Mm-hmm. What was the initial, before you started going to the gym though? Like, what was the thought of like, oh, I might need to start lifting or exercising? What was that?
Since I was little, that was, 1987. That was before tablets and cell phones and stuff like that. So I was always outside. I was always riding bikes. My family, we lived in Germany for all of my middle school years. So me and my sisters, we would get on bikes and we would ride for hours in Germany and climb up cherry trees, pick cherries, ride back home. And so I've always been pretty active. But as far as like working out and dedicating time to my body and stuff, I'd say that something just clicked whenever my wife told me she was pregnant, and then I found out it was a boy, and I just wanted to be a good dad and give my kids something to look up to.
Yeah. Okay. So you start fitness. When do you start your business? Because you now run your own business, not fitness related, but how does that play into your story?
Well, running a business and fitness, they do go hand in hand because no matter who we are, the first thing we do is we judge somebody. As soon as you see somebody, no matter what you're doing, you're walking into Walmart or walking into the gym or anywhere, you look at their appearance, what they're wearing. So it ties really well with my business because, when people come and I have to do their vehicle or talk to them on the phone or anything like that, the first thing to do is they're going to see you, and first appearances are everything. So when I present myself to people, they see dedication. As far as the way your body looks, you can't go and buy it. You can't go to the store and rent it out and then return it. You have to put in the work. And I think a lot of people in the world know that, either subconsciously or consciously. So it really helps with my business because as soon as I walk up to them, I've already been awake since 3 a.m. I've already went to the gym. My blood's already pumping. My brain's moving. So I'm able to articulate my thoughts and stuff like that. And I think that plays a really big part in the business aspect because when you run a business, they're not really buying the product, they're buying you as a person.
Hmm.
So I have a lot of people that come back to me to retint some of any new vehicles they may get and like, hey, you tinted my one vehicle. So I feel like they are not necessarily buying the window tint, but they're buying my personality, my character.
Did it take you a long time to like learn your character?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of character development stories. So especially living in Germany, my parents being in the military, we moved around every 3 years. So I've met so many different people. I've lost a lot of friends, met a lot of new ones. And all that played a big role into who I am today.
Do you value the character you are today?
I love it. I love it. I love who I've become. I love the man that I've become, the father, the dad. It's definitely a lot more than the, scared, timid little boy I used to be back in the day. So I think I pretty nice, friendly. I don't really try not to judge too many people or, not I try to see the good in everybody pretty much. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Okay. So let's kind of break down into that character. What does a typical day for you look like?
Whew.
Ooh.
So a typical day is I wake up at about 3 o'clock, get to the gym at about 3:40, work out till 6, and then I'll go home. I'll make lunch for both my boys and my wife. I'll pack their lunches up, get them ready for school, and then I'll drop them off at school. And from there, I'll go start attacking my appointments, knock out all the appointments. If I don't have any appointments, then I'll just go to the house, do the laundry on Wednesdays, and keep the house clean and put together, take care of my two dogs that I have. And after that, at about 4 o'clock or so, that's when I try to start wrapping it up. Unless I have to work late, then that's what I have to do. But let's say I don't have to work late, then I wrap it up because that's when the kids get home. Then when they get home, I try to make dinner ready. Either I'll have it already prepared or I'll make dinner. They'll do their homework, take a bath. After dinner, we all clean up the kitchen and everything together, and then we spend a few hours playing some games together and that family time. Once they go to bed, then I get about an hour with my wife if she's not doing homework, and then spend time with her, make sure that she's taken care of, and from there I go to sleep at about 9 o'clock, and then we do it all over again.
Is it tricky to keep your thoughts like in line throughout a chaotic day like that?
Honestly, as long as I go to the gym first, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's really hard to have a bad day when you go and you put yourself first. You go, you work out, you meal plan. I'm already being selfish, so to speak, because much rather wake up in the morning and make sure that I get all that stuff taken care of versus trying to work out at night or after I'm done working because then I'm tired or the family just got home. They don't want to see dad going to the gym. They rather spend time with dad. So I'd much rather be a little selfish, wake up early, go to the gym, and then that just clears my mind for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you have to take care of yourself so you can take care of everybody around you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk gym because you have gone on a bodybuilding journey.
Mhm.
So what did like how many comps have you done?
I I couldn't tell you. At least about 10 plus for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, 10 plus.
Okay, so let's talk mindset in the beginning. What was your mindset like in the beginning of your bodybuilding journey?
Honestly, I didn't know anything. I was just pretty much I've always liked bodybuilding, but before like the guys were like really big, like and I never wanted to be big like that where you can't even walk around and stuff. So I believe around 2015 they introduced in the NPC they introduced men's physique. And I saw those guys. And I was like, oh, okay, I like that. They're not too big, but they look good. They still have a six pack. And I was like, I can do that. That
Mhm.
sounds like something I could do. And like I said, once I found out my wife was pregnant with my first son, that's when I really just jumped into it. No coach, no training, no prior knowledge, nothing. I just really just
Did you go to your first show like no coach at all?
no coach at all.
How did you place?
I placed third.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
cool.
good.
I was very happy with that. I was super skinny. I was like 167 pounds.
After that, did you hire a coach?
No, I didn't hire a coach for many years. I've probably only had maybe 3 coaches altogether. Like I said, it's not a rush for me. I'm not trying to, let me hurry up and get my pro card. If anything, I enjoy the process. I enjoy the mistakes. I enjoy messing up, all the different diets, all the things that you learn to do as you're getting ready for a show. It's not necessarily about the show, but it's more the journey getting to the show. That's the fun part for me.
Yeah. Okay, so how has your mindset changed from the beginning to now?
Well, definitely, I have a lot more knowledge, a lot of process of elimination. I know what works for my body. I know what doesn't work. And then I've definitely opened up more to having a coach. And, my last coach was obviously one of my best friends, Gino. He helped me out a lot of knowledge on that guy, and he just poured it into me. And I
Can
took,
I pause right
oh,
there?
yeah, of course.
If you guys have not seen Gino's episode, he is a few episodes back before this one. You should go check it out. And I have one question for you before we move forward in your story. What is it like to train with Gino?
Oh, when me and him are together, it's pretty insane. It's like we shake up the whole gym. I first met him at True Fit. I trained him for his first show. And then
Wait, you trained him?
Yeah, I trained him for his very first show. He took first place. He looked really good, and then he just has the time and the knowledge, and he just has the brain for it. So he went and did his own research, and I think about 3-4 years later, he trained me for this last show, and we did really good. It was really fun. And yeah, me and him together. If you guys see us in the gym, it's that we're working out together.
Does he make you cry?
No. We challenge each other. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. I know one time we were there and we were just doing reps for curls, and neither one of us would break. Neither one of us would stop until we were both almost about to die. So when I work out with him, honestly, he's probably been my best workout partner because he pushes me. He's not afraid to push me. I'm not afraid to push him. We're both like, you're going to die before I die. And then we just both die.
I love seeing people like that in the gym together. I just had to ask because it's Gino.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so he takes you to this show. What is next?
Next is, we pretty much find what I need to fine tune, what I need to work on. We come up with a game plan, and then that's what we're doing right now. We're just slowly building muscle, trying to stay lean, working on my shoulders, working on my arms. I have a really long muscle tissue. So for my muscles to develop and look the way that I need them to look, I have to put on a lot of mass. And then I have a high metabolism, so that's even harder to do. So it's just going to be a process. And that's the best thing about bodybuilding is you just learn as you go. You learn with all the different shows, all the different critiques from the judges, even being backstage and seeing all the different people. Then you take it back to the gym and you implement everything that you learned.
Mm. Okay, so let's talk nutrition for a second. How much are you eating a day currently?
As of right now, I would say I'm eating about 3,000 calories, about 5 meals a day. Pretty much all the same thing: chicken and rice, chicken and vegetables, ground beef and rice, ground beef and vegetables. For me, it makes it easier, especially with my job, because I don't have to really think about what I'm going to eat. I already have it in my brain. I already know how much the macros and calories are going to be. And I'm not the type of person that really needs to change a bunch of stuff. So I would rather sit down one day and calculate all the stuff I need into the meals, and then I can eat that same meal for months at a time, because it just makes it easier to not have to think about it, especially when you're running a business, you're being a dad, you're being a husband. Like, the last thing I need to worry about is what I'm going to eat next.
Yeah. How much protein are you eating?
Whew, a lot. I would say at least about 250 grams
Is
of
any
protein.
is any of that supplemented?
Yes, yes, of course. I have 2 protein shakes a day, one in the morning after the gym, then I'll have one at night before I go to bed. Peanut butter, and then, like I said, a lot of ground beef and a lot of chicken. That's pretty much it.
Hmm. Are you taking any kind of like multivitamins or creatine or anything like that?
Yeah, I always take my men's one a day health vitamins. I always take my organ defenders to make sure all my organs and everything are running good. And then creatine, of course. I honestly I just started taking creatine. I would say maybe a year, 2 years ago. I didn't never took it before because
Hmm.
everybody would say, you take creatine, you're gonna get all full of water and bloated. But then explain to me what it actually does, and it kind of yes, you get full of water, but it's helped that water is help shuffle all the nutrition to the muscles and where they need to go. So it's okay to have a little bit of extra water weight on you.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so you're talking about water weight. Is it mentally tricky for you to go from like show to then like adding back on weight? Like, so you walk the stage and then like that transition after. Does it mentally play with your head?
I mean, not really. It's kind of fun. It's a fun process. It's crazy what the body's capable of doing. And then once you know and you've done enough shows, then you kind of already prepare for it. You can't walk around show ready all the time. It's physically impossible.
Yeah.
So by the time you do the show and you get show ready and the show's over, you're happy to put on some regular weight, just to where you can drink water and not think about it, or you can eat food and be okay with it and things of that nature. So, um, I would say the first time it was a little tricky, but after doing this as much as I've done it, then it becomes just like, okay, the show's over. All right, cool. Now I can go back to being a normal human being.
What is your go-to meal after a show?
I would say pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
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 Any specific kind?
Alfredo, spinach, mushrooms, and chicken. That's my
Oh,
favorite. When I found out you can put Alfredo on pizza instead of the red sauce, it was a wrap. It was game over.
yeah. Oh, okay. So let's kind of get into, are you currently doing any like lifting? Are you like, what does your workouts entail?
Oof. So workouts, I'm just starting to lift heavy. I don't try to lift too heavy often because one, I'm a little bit older, so I'm not trying to injure myself. I don't ego lift. There's no point in me trying to go and lift up the whole gym for any reason.
Hmm.
I always tell people that no one knows what you did before you got to that set. So let's say I'm only lifting or I'm only curling 15-pound dumbbells. Yeah, they're small, but you don't know what I did before I got there. So that's the mindset I have. I really don't care or think what people think when they see me, like, oh man, he's lifting that little bit of weight, blah
Hmm.
blah blah. So that doesn't really bother me because I promise you, if you do one of my workouts, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, that's why he's lifting that little weight. He's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like lifting with reps and intent and purpose. I don't really focus on how much weight it is. I don't write down anything. I kind of go into the gym and let my body tell me what it wants to do. As far as a regiment, I'll do, since I'm working on my arms and shoulders. So as of right now, I'm doing arms and shoulders 3 times a week. I always do my legs, and then I'll do my back and chest. Since I don't need those to grow, I kind of combined it those days so they can kind of calm down and
Hmm.
give my arms and shoulders a chance to catch up. And that's pretty much my workout regimen, just really focused on what I need to improve so I can get ready for the next show.
Are you currently doing cardio?
Yes, I try to keep about 20 minutes of cardio in.
Hmm.
At first, normally when I'd be on a bulk, I would just go crazy and no cardio, eat as much as I want, and I would put on the weight. But like I said, it's so hard to put on good mass that when you do all that, you put on, let's say, the biggest I was, I believe I made it up to 280 pounds before. And then when I got show ready, I cut all the way down to like 200. So
Hmm.
that's 80 pounds of weight I had to lose. And there was just no point in doing all that. And it made it that much harder to prep for the show. So this go around, I'm trying to do a nice lean bulk,
Hmm.
watch what I'm eating, but still eat the things that I need, pretty much rice and carbs. And um, that's really about it. Just really watching what I'm doing.
So what does the gym or what has the gym taught you? Like something about yourself?
The thing that the gym's taught me would be that I really enjoy helping people. I really enjoy when people ask questions and they want to learn, they want to see it. They see my physique, they see what I look like, and they want to look like me. So I don't mind helping people out. taking time out of my day to, stop and help somebody. But it's really taught me my limits and how to go past those limits and just keep pushing no matter if I'm tired, hungry, had a long night and I still wake up and go to the gym, and then the satisfaction of doing all that stuff afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there anything that you would like to add in on this segment of your story?
The gym segment, I mean, the gym is for everybody. I mean, I think everybody should know about fitness. I think we only have one body. Everybody's so, in this world that we live in, we're so used to just, oh, my phone break, let me get a new one. Oh, my car messed up, let me get a new one.
Mhm.
And with your body, that's not the case. You can't just go to the body store and get a new body. So I think that everybody should know at least a little something about the gym or about fitness in general, not
Mhm.
necessarily the gym. And it's just going to help you be there for your family, be there for your kids, but most importantly, be there for yourself.
Yeah. All right. Speaking for being there for yourself, I want you to talk about your business just for a second so we can support you. And what do you do? What do you do with your business?
So my business is called Allen and AJ's Mobile Window Tinting. I named it after my sons. And the thing that makes my business different from other tinting business is the fact that I'm mobile. So I'm able to go to like farmers. Like a lot of times they'll call me and they need skid steers or tractors. And I've talked to a few of them and they say it costs them about $1,000 just to bring a piece of equipment that large into town. So with my business, I can just go out there to them and put tint on it, and then it'll protect them from the sun. It'll protect them from the UV rays. A lot of times, like, I work with a couple of car dealerships. A lot of people think that their windows are tinted because that's what the car dealership sells them. And what they'll do is they'll order the vehicles with smoked glass. And it looks like a little bit darker. And like, oh yeah, it has tint on it. I was like, there's no tint on there. Like,
Mhm.
and the tint, you know, coming from the restaurant industry where I used to work for 10 years to doing this is kind of crazy because if you don't know about window tinting, then it's really not a big deal. A lot of people just think it's for the look, and it's really not. It's really to help block out the harmful UV rays and block out the heat that's coming in, even in houses and buildings. My whole house is tinted. So my AC used to have to work like crazy, but ever since I tinted my house, my AC doesn't have to go past 72 when
Mhm.
it's 114 degrees outside. And I can have my windows open and don't have to have everything closed because my windows are tinted. So it's already blocking out the harmful light. It's blocking out the UV rays, and then it's allowing for me to look at my backyard, enjoy it, see my kids outside playing. So I really enjoy what I do now because it allows me to help any random person that may just call and ask. And that's one of the biggest things that I get told is that, when I answer the phone, they're like, oh, you're a real person. You're not a automated voice service. I just need a quote real quick, and I can give you a quote over the phone. And, if that's a service you would like, then I can definitely provide it for you. And um, if there's any issues, I'm the first one to jump in and get it fixed because, like I said, I worked in the restaurant industry as a general manager, so I know all about customer service and make sure the customer is being taken care of, and I pride myself on that, and that just really translated to my business.
Yeah. Okay, so where can people find you?
I am on Google, Facebook, Instagram, at the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much if you just Google window tinting in San Angelo, I'll pop up. And with me being mobile, I've driven all the way to Midland, Odessa to do work. I don't mind getting in my car and driving. So for a lot of those little towns out there that don't have tent shops, then I can drive out there to like Sonora. I do a lot of work in Sonora. I have a buddy named Angel out there. He'll call me and then he'll call all his friends, and
Mhm.
I'll be there all day in Sonora just tinting a bunch of different people's windows. And it's pretty cool service to provide because it really helps them and it's very convenient, me being mobile, because I've done work for people that, let's say you work overnight. I've had people just leave their keys in the car. I pull up, I tint their vehicle, and then I put their keys back and I send them a text message, hey, your car is done. And then, so they can just wake up and their car is done. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to deal with anything. They'll leave the money in a certain spot. I'll get it. Everybody's happy.
That's the character.
Exactly. Perfect.
Oh, all right. Is there anything else you'd like to add into your life segment before we move on?
I think pretty much covered it all.
All
I think that's it.
right. We are going to hear a word from our sponsors and we will be back soon. This episode is powered by Maximus Nutrition in San Angelo, Texas. One is located over on Sunset Drive. The other is located on Knickerbocker. If you are serious about your performance, swing by their store for top-notch supplements and other fitness-related enhancements. Head in today and level up your fitness game. And we are back. This deck of cards segment is sponsored by Training from the Ground Up and Orange Theory Fitness. All right, blue card first.
All right, let's see what we got. If you could give your younger self advice, what would you say? It's a good one. So, little me, huh?
Little you.
If I could talk to me, I would tell him to get into the gym a lot sooner. With being in the gym, it's definitely made me more aware of my health, my fitness, and in turn, the choices that I make as far as, drinking, doing any type of recreational stuff. Like, now that I've been into the gym so much, that I wish that I would have started so much earlier, because then I can only imagine where I would be at right now. I started at, I think I was like 26 when I first started. So if I were to take the dedication that I have now to my younger, let's say 18-year-old self, then I couldn't imagine where I'd be at. So I would just tell him, get into the gym, work on yourself. Don't worry about what's going on in the world. Just focus on you, and the sky's the limit. The doors will open up.
Yeah, that's great advice. I actually want to piggyback off of that because I've answered this question a couple of times, but you are right. Like, I wish I would have been in the gym. I was in a very, I was a depressed teenager, growing up through some hard times. And so I feel like the gym probably would have helped me regulate that and work through those things. But nobody was ever there and around to be like, hey, you should go to the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would have told my younger self, hey, find some form of exercise.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what it does to your brain when you're able to make those endorphins come, because that's what it's all about. Like, that feel good feeling is literally your brain telling you, yes, this is fun. You should do this more often. So you get those dopamine and those endorphins getting flowing. And the days that I don't work out, oh man, I can tell it's night and day. It's like I'm just more irritable, more irritated. Versus if I go to the gym at 3 a.m, finish at 6, then there's really nothing that could mess up my day.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh, good answer. All right. What is an adventure you would like to have before you die?
An adventure. I would love to take my kids overseas and have them visit Europe the way that I grew up in Europe. I would say I was there for 6 years. And we rode bikes, we roller skated, we didn't live on base with the other American military people. We lived on the economy. So I had a German girlfriend. I had my best friend was from Italy. He spoke Italian, he spoke German, he spoke French, and he spoke English. So it was pretty crazy just growing up around there. Like in Germany, when they turn 14, they get mopeds and stuff. And he got his, and it was just pretty cool. Just the culture difference and eating all the food. The food.
It's so good.
The food was so good over there. It was just, man, it was just an experience that I would love for my kids to be able to go out there, even if it's for a week. But I would love to take them for a year, just so they can experience someone different, a different culture, and have a different mindset, and not just be so stuck in their ways. So it's really humbling to see how different people do different things, and it's really eye-opening. And then you just take it back and you implement it into your own life, and it's just amazing how much you're able to relate with people and understand people and never judge somebody, because you don't know what they have going on, what's happening in their world, what's happening in their culture, how they were raised, how they grew up, and things of that nature. So yeah, I would love to take my kids and live abroad for a little bit, just so they can see a different culture out there.
Yeah. And then they could take that onto their own life.
Exactly.
Yeah. An adventure I want. Have you ever seen One Tree Hill?
One Tree Hill? No, I haven't seen that.
It is a TV show that came out in 2003, and they went on to do 9 seasons. But I am an uber super fan of this show. I have seen all 9 seasons, probably 9 or 10 times. Yeah. Like I said, depressed teenagers.
Emo times.
Yeah. There is a town that they recorded in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I would love to go on an adventure just like walking around that whole town.
That would be cool because then you actually see what you saw on TV.
Yeah.
I remember that's where Joseph was at.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Pink-eyed.
Let's see what we got. What is your favorite lift? My favorite lift would be back day, and then to get even deeper, my favorite thing for back would be, I want to say deadlifts.
Yeah.
That's how I think I developed such a strong back is I would deadlift like crazy. And then there was a point in time where I would put some resistance bands and then deadlift with those. And that was insane. Like it literally felt like someone was ripping the meat off the bones. And I love back day. I love just the way it makes your posture, the way you walk around after a good back day. You stand tall and your lats are all full of blood and you just walk around like rawr. So I really love back day. That's probably definitely my favorite lift. Second favorite would be chest day, but like that's what really got me into the gym also is like I've always had a big chest. So a lot of people are like, how do you get your chest so big? I was like, dude, it's not gonna happen. It's just I've always had a big chest, and there was one summer where I was at the pool and I took off my shirt and I didn't like what I saw. And then I went that whole summer and I just did the pec deck for the whole summer. And then I had this massive cool chest and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And yeah, but for sure back day would be my favorite day.
How much can you deadlift?
My max deadlifts, back in the day, I want to say it was about 600 pounds, I believe.
And what do you play with now?
Now, I just play with 295, something like that. Just really, there's no point in me lifting heavy like that anymore.
Yeah.
So if anything, I'll do a lot of reps.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to get that feeling where it feels like the meat's being torn off the bone because at this point, it probably will be.
My favorite lift, it has been for a while, is at the hex bar deadlift instead of like straight bar. I don't know. I worked on it for a long time over 2024 and yeah.
No, I thought you were going to say those handstands.
Oh,
yeah. You were working on those a lot.
I used to do handstands all the time. And then I stopped for a long time because my elbows and my shoulders were like, what are we doing? And then I've recently just started like throwing them back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Let's go blue card. What is your favorite childhood memory and why?
My favorite childhood memory. What would it be? That's a good one. I guess my favorite childhood memory is there was one time me and my two sisters, we got on our bikes and we were in Germany and we rode and we rode and then we rode some more. And then we got to the point where we were like, oh crap, we have to turn back around and ride all the way back home. And I'm talking like we rode for like 2 hours straight. Like we were gone. Luckily, where we got to, there was big fields of cherry trees. And we climbed up the cherry tree. I'm talking massive tree. All three of us in the one tree on different branches. And we picked We picked a bunch of cherries and we took a little break, ate those, and then we rode back home. Actually, the farmer or the owner, he stopped and gave us some bags. And, that's the thing about the culture out there. Like, he wasn't like, hey, get off my tree. He was like, hey, you guys want some bags? And we ended up riding home with about 2 bags apiece full of cherries. We made cherry cobbler. We made cherry everything. And we would walk around the neighborhood and try to sell them, our cherry cobbler and stuff. So that was pretty fun, just being out there and just riding with my sisters and, no cell phone, no recording, no Instagram posts or nothing, just me and my sisters talking, having a good time, riding through woods, riding through forests. I remember one time we climbed up one of the, now that I'm older, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I believe it was like a hunting perch. But in Germany, they have a bunch of them already built into the forest. So we climbed up one and it was an older one, and there was like a bunch of spiders in there, and it was really scary, and I almost fell off, but we just jumped on our bikes and we just left out of there so fast. But that's definitely my childhood favorite memory is just being in Germany and being able to just get on the bike and just ride and not really think about nothing. Like you can't do that nowadays, and
Yeah.
it's pretty sad that you can't do that. Or like for my kids, they can't just get on their bikes and not even have a cell phone. No one knew where we were at, like
Yeah.
nothing. No, but no one worried about it over there. It was just we had a good time and we would ride and make it back home, and we ended up coming home with a bunch of cherries. It was awesome.
That's a great story. I would have to say mine. My mom took us to the beach for an entire month.
Oh wow.
Whenever I think I was like 8 or 9, and I have a younger sister, and we went with my aunt and my cousin, and we stayed for this entire month. We had like a short walk to the beach, and so we spent like all this time on the beach, and I took gymnastics lessons there, so I learned how to like do flips, and I learned how to like go surfing, and I don't know, something
Right.
about the beach now, it's like it takes me back to that
Right.
like every time.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. Oh, okay. Green. Yes.
Have you ever prank called someone? I don't believe so. I mean, I prank call my friends all the time. Just hey, what's up, stupid, or like, or sometimes like the most prank, like if my wife calls me, but she was supposed to call me earlier, but she calls me like too late, then I'll answer as if I'm speaking with the guest. I'm like, hi, this is Alan from Allen Vanderhorst Mobile Window Tinting. She's like, you better shut up. You better talk to me the right way. I was like, yes, ma'am. What can I do for you? And she gets really upset with that. But other than that, I mean, my
You never
parents
prank called anybody when you were a kid?
Nah, my parents weren't having that. My dad was pretty strict. He was in the military, 6'4". Yeah, he wasn't playing those type of games. I couldn't imagine what he would do if someone called back like, "Hey, your son was prank calling." Yeah, that would be a bad night.
That's
for
why
me.
you use star 67.
Oh yeah,
And you
I
put the
did.
number in.
As a kid, you don't know about that until you learn. So, but no, I don't think not really.
Growing up, I did prank call people. But so I had my own landline in my room,
Oh wow.
which is so wild to think about.
Can you explain to everybody what a landline is?
It is connected to the wall, you guys.
A lot of people don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah, most people don't have them in their homes.
Not at all.
We don't even have one.
Me neither.
Anyway, my landline number was different than that actual house's landline, and it was one number off from a Dairy Queen that was down the road. And so people would call my phone and that to place their to-go orders. And at first we were like, no, it's not Dairy Queen. And then we would start answering and be like, oh yeah, it is Dairy Queen. And then we would write down or tell them we wrote down their order and that it would be ready in 20 to 30 minutes.
I mean,
and then they get there and there's nothing.
Yeah, obviously there's nothing there, but I mean, you kind of have to do that. It's
Yeah.
What kid wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
You're not going out your way, but since you guys called,
Yeah.
I'll be Dairy Queen today. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We just did green. We're going to go pink. Oh, we talked about this one earlier. Do you take creatine or any other supplements to assist in muscle growth?
Yes, supplements are a big part because in order to achieve proper muscle growth, you can only eat so much and so much diverse stuff. So that's where the supplements come in to pretty much fill in the gaps of what you're not eating or what you can't consume. So then, like a men's one a day or a fish oil, creatine, all that stuff fills in the gaps. Because I'm not eating fish every day. So how do I get the fish oil?
Yeah.
Keep my, hair, nails, and all that good stuff good. So definitely supplements are a big part in my life, especially bodybuilding and trying to stay as healthy as I could possibly be.
Yeah, me too. I order my vitamins through one of those ones you go online. It's called Persona. But you go on and they send you your monthly vitamins in pre-packages. Okay. But yeah, I take Cordyceps and a multivitamin and ashwagandha, and there's another one in there that's for joint health. But I UC dash. I don't know if it's 2 or if it's an I, but Yeah.
Yeah.
And then creatine,
Oh,
of course.
gotta
Yeah.
have that good stuff.
Blue card.
What is the one skill you believe is most important for your success in your field? So, in my field, running my business, the skill that I have that's the most successful, I would say just being able to adapt to a situation. Um, with window tinting, there's the thing called a plotter. So, what the plotter does is you can just type in the make and model of the vehicle, and then it will literally cut out the windows for you. But I don't use a plotter because it's really big and I'm mobile. So a lot of times I don't know what I'm getting myself into. So I have to adapt right there. As soon as I see the window, I would have to make the cut and cut it the correct way to where the tint fits on the window. Just recently, I was in Sonora and this guy brought me like, I think it was like a 1990 Ford. And the window was so different from any other windows that I've ever done that I just had to take a second, look at it, and figure out, how am I going to get this tint to stick? Because it didn't have any gaskets on the side, so that's where we can hide the tint and where it kind of fits into the gasket. So it didn't have that. So I pretty much had to stop, think for a second, look at it, and I came to the conclusion that I just need to cut it as if it was a house window.
Mhm.
So I put the tint on there and then I cut it to where it would be perfectly in line with the side to where I didn't have to tuck anything, but there was no light coming through to where it would look weird where you see like a big bunch of light coming in after
Mhm.
the tint was applied. So I would definitely say just being able to adapt and overcome situations because you never know what you're going to get called to do. You never know what type of farm equipment it might be. And, those things you can't, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can, but it'd be a lot harder to type in for a farm equipment because those windows are so big and so massive that there's times where I just have to look at it, take a second, breathe, analyze it, and then figure out how am I going to attack this job. And it's been pretty good. I haven't had any issues. And, I always talk to my customers first and let them know, hey, you want me to tint your tractor. It's not going to be perfect because your tractor is covered in dirt and I'll clean it the best I can, but I can only get it so clean. And a lot of times, as long as you're honest and open with them, then they will be like, oh man, I'm just trying not to be hot. Cool.
Mhm.
That's what I like to hear. Gotcha.
Mm. That's good advice.
Mhm.
Yeah. For me, let's go podcast world for me
Mhm.
right now. I feel like the biggest thing that I need for success is understanding. So being able to like sit across from somebody and like go in with it with an open mind of like this person across from me has their own life and their own story and
Mhm.
like being able to understand and like handle each story with care. I think going into like just open mindedness
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I've
yeah.
seen a couple of them, and there's a lot of them. You're like, oh wow, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine you being the host, like having to hear that and then have that open mind to not
Yeah.
judge and to just see where a person was and where they're at now and all the in betweens and what helped develop them. Like that takes a lot. So I commend
Thanks.
you on that.
Thanks. Thanks. All right.
Where we at? Red?
We are at
Green?
green, I
Beautiful.
think. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a song that reminds you of a memory?
Oh, plenty of songs.
Mm.
One that jumps into my mind right now would be off the first Spider-Man movie, the animated one. And
Mhm.
needless to say, I'd keep in check. She was all bad, bad, nevertheless. It just reminds me of my sons. My sons would sing that song all day long, especially AJ. He really loved that song and he loved that whole album and that whole movie and everything. So when you asked me that question, that's the first song that popped in my mind. And
Yeah.
ooh, some things you don't want to do. So just reminds me of my little man dancing around the house.
Yeah. Uh, you you end up with like we all end up with like a lot of songs
Oh,
that
of
like
course.
attach to things. Back whenever I was in gymnastics, I had a gymnastics coach that hung out with my mom all the time. And so I remember we were in Walmart one time and they started singing at the top of their lungs the "Oh honey, honey, sugar, sugar, you're my candy girl."
Okay.
And I was so embarrassed cuz like that's the goal as as a parent is to
Of
like make
course.
your kids feel uncomfortable
Of
sometimes.
course.
And yeah, they started doing that and I was so embarrassed. And then people from like other like aisles, they started like singing in with them because they were so loud and I was like, get me out of here.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I try to do that to my boys sometimes.
Yeah. All right. Pink card.
Is there anyone in the fitness community you look up to and why? Well, this is an easy one. I'm going to say Gino because this guy has broken his back and he still goes and lifts like a crazy person. And just to see that, it humbles me, and then at the same time, it allows me to push myself even further because I have not broken my back. So if he can break his back, get up, and come to the gym, on my last prep, he was there with me every morning, 3:00 in the morning. He didn't have to be, and he would still wake up and do it. Sometimes he would text me, "Hey, my back hurts, but I'm on the way. I'm just running a little late," and that would just motivate me to do what I needed to do because if somebody that's been through that type of trauma can go not only go to the gym but push themselves at the gym, it just says a lot about the human body and the human mind and what it can do. So I always look up to that. And I don't really idolize people. I don't know a lot of actors' names or anything like that. I figure if they don't know who I am, why should I know who they are? So with Gino, it's more of somebody that I know, I respect. I've helped coach him. He's coached me. He's learned from me. I've learned from him. But I definitely look up to him because I know that if something were to happen to me, that I would be able to push through it because clearly the body can do whatever the mind tells it to do. And I think that's the most that I get from him.
Yeah. He's a great dude. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people look up to him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any like individual people that I'm just like,
Yeah.
I but I do find that like I learn from quite a few people. I mean, and it can even be like through Instagram, like you see something like fitness related and you're like, oh, I could like utilize that. Or even just like with this podcast, like I have people on here and I learn something new every time. And yeah, so fitness community wise,
Yeah,
like
it's pretty
I
dope.
think I just look up to the fitness community as like a whole almost.
Yeah. I mean, especially as early as I go, I'll see people in there when I get to the gym, like, man, it's 3:40 in the morning. Like, what are you already doing here? And it just humbles me to let me know that I'm not special. Like, I'm not like, oh, I wake up at 3 in the morning to go to the gym. So there are other people that do the same thing. So the fitness community definitely keeps you humble and it allows you to have that open mind. And like you said, learn what everybody else is doing. There were some younger kids, like probably in high school, and they were doing a cool shoulder workout. And then here I am, this big older dude. And I was like, hey guys, what is that? That looks really cool. And like you could tell they got so excited because I asked them for advice because I don't care. I don't mind. If I see something that I like and it's working, then I was like, I told them I'm stealing your workouts, dude. So like that looks amazing. I did it and my shoulders were super pumped. And I was like, that is pretty dope. And you could just tell that it uplifted them. But I was like, you guys, shoot, you uplifted me. Like, okay, I can still learn new stuff. So I love the gym community.
Yeah. I don't think I think like newbies at the beginning, like they don't think that it's so like giving like that. But I've come across so many people in the gym where I'm like, where I do go up and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or like people come up to me and they're like, what are you doing? Like, I think more oftentimes than not, the people in the gym community are willing to help or demonstrate whatever they're.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
it's just a different type of community because if you're going to the gym, especially when you go at the same time, you see the same people, then that's what really brings you into, like my gym community is 4 to 6 a.m. people.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the gym after that. I'm not there at 5 or at the busy times. Like, no, I'll be there at 4 and 6. See my same regular people. We're going to do our same things. We'll chit chat and talk, and then we'll go about our business.
Sometimes I see you up there.
If I'm doing cardio for a show, that'll be the only time I'm there. But I try not to be because it's way too packed and there's just a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, I'd much rather do it in the morning where I have a fresh, clear mind versus trying to do it after I've worked all day, and then I'm more worried that, okay, my kids are awake. They're waiting for me to come home. I need to hurry up.
Yeah.
When at 3 in the morning, everybody's asleep, so I can
Yeah.
sit there and enjoy myself.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you 4 questions that I ask every single person. And the first one is, what is your biggest struggle right now?
My biggest struggle, ooh, that's a hard one because life is good right now. My biggest struggle right now would be, honestly, I, mm, um, that's a good one. My biggest struggle. My biggest struggle would be, I guess, just maintaining balance.
Yeah.
There's so much going on at all the times that um, just finding and keeping that balance. Yeah, my biggest struggle would be the balance because I do my own taxes. That's probably my biggest struggle right now is me getting ready to file my taxes. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do all my receipts, I put everything in order. I keep track of all the money that I make and everything like that, and then I just take it to my accountant, and he plugs it in for me. So that's what I'm working on to get that done this week. I'm gonna get it done this week. That's been the only thing that's been eating me up. Honestly, yeah, that's what it is. My taxes right now, and it's not that I'm afraid to file or anything like that. It's just it's so much, and then I still have work to do. I still have family to do. I still have gym to do. Though it's hard for me to just sit down and get in front of the computer and be there for hours at a time, plugging in all the numbers, making sure everything's good, and setting it up so I can send it to my accountant. So that would
Yeah.
be my biggest struggle right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. What is your proudest moment? So something that you have done that you're proud of.
Being a good dad. Honestly, me being a good dad is keeping me down to earth, and I see a lot of my friends, they praise me on it, and I think that's what I would like to do is I think all men should be good examples for their children, whether you're a boy dad, a mom dad, or you have both. For me, that's what keeps me proud. When I took my kids skating, there was a birthday party. We went skating this past weekend, and I put on the skates and I was out there skating with all the little kids, and all the kids like, chill, let's get AJ's dad, and like all the kids are running after me and everything, and like whenever we have like a school function or nothing, like I'm that dad. Like I'm the dad that wants to be interactive with the kids. I want to make sure that the kids um, see me having a good time, see my boys having a good time, and I don't want to just be there on my phone or just sitting there talking and stuff like that. Like I'm there for my kids and make sure that they are having a good time. And if there are any other friends, whenever we go to the park, like every time we go to the park, we end up playing with all the kids at the park because the kids are like, well, we want to play tag too. And I'm like, well, come on, let's go. And you guys got to try to catch me, or I try to catch them. And, they wear me out, but my kids have a good time. And being a good dad, that just helps me sleep at night. It's the
Yeah.
best feeling ever.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. If you could give anybody an honorable mention, who would it be and why?
An honorable mention, I would say Jesse, the guy from who is Crusade Forge.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is super cool. He actually, my first sponsorship, he came up to me and, he saw something in me. He believed in me, and he's sponsoring me now. And I've never had a sponsor. I've never looked for a sponsor. I've never been the one to try to look for a handout, I guess. That's how I would say it. But I know that's not the case, but that's just me. So when he came up to me, he's like, hey, we want to sponsor you. Like, we like what you're doing. We see how you are. And to me, that just made me feel seen, heard, and just felt really good to have somebody come up to me and put their trust in me and say that, hey, we want to take a leap of faith on you and sponsor you with our clothing brand, our supplements, whatever you need from us, you just let me know. And I went to go get supplements this past weekend, and he took care of me, and I was just like, this is new. This is all right. This is kind of scary because now it's like I don't want to disappoint them, because
Yeah.
obviously you saw something in me that no one else has seen, or I haven't put myself out there to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone to look at me and see what I do in the gym, see me there in the mornings, see me putting in the work, and then they're like, hey, you know what? We want to sponsor you like that. That is awesome. So if you guys are ever around, go check them out. They're right there off of Sherwood, and he's a good guy.
Yeah, they are. They're great people.
Yeah.
I like going in and just talking to them sometimes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, last question. If you could give anybody advice that is listening right now, what is the best piece of advice you have?
Believe in yourself. It's always scary starting something new, but take that leap of faith, believe in yourself. Me running my own business was the scariest thing ever because I have a family to provide for, I have people counting on me, and it was the scariest thing, but honestly, it's the best thing I ever done. I'm more financially secure now. I have way more time with my kids. I can do the things that I've always wanted to do as a father, as a parent. So anytime I tint anybody's windows, like this past weekend, actually, there was this guy and I tinted his wife's window, I tinted his window, and he was just talking. We were just talking, and he was telling me how, he got fired from his job and he really wanted to open up his own lawn service. And I was like, man, do it. I was like, don't think about it. Don't, just do it. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yes, just do it. I was like, matter of fact, I have a lawnmower. I have a weed eater. You can have it. So I literally gave him my lawnmower, gave him my weed eater. And I was like, as long as you take care of my yard, like, I'm not going to be using these tools. You can be putting them to use and just make sure you take care of me. And I'm not saying for free or anything like that, but, when I call you once a month, twice a month, just make sure you can squeeze me into your schedule. And then by all means, I want him to be successful. And, I talked to him about how to run the business, how to get his LLC, what websites to go get his business cards made at. And, he was very thankful. And to me, I feel like I impacted his life without even trying to, not asking for nothing in return. I told him that, my dad believed in me, and that's how I started my business. I told my dad what I wanted to do. I sent him my business venture, and, he helped me get it started. And, if he never took that, if he didn't believe in me, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So if I have the ability to help somebody, then I want to help people,
Mhm.
So just believe in yourself. Take that risk. I mean, jobs aren't going anywhere. So even if you don't win or it doesn't pan out the way that you want it to pan out, take that risk because there's nothing better than working for yourself, putting your passion on it, exactly like what you're doing with the podcast. Who's to say 10 years from now you don't have your own TV show?
Mhm.
And you never would know that if you didn't start from somewhere. So
Yeah.
I've seen you grown just from our first hiccup with
Yeah.
the no audio to now it's amazing. So I can only imagine what's going to happen 4 or 5 years from now, no matter what's going on in the sidelines. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see people take a risk on themselves and work on themselves versus trying to work for a big corporate or a big company that you're just a number to them. At least here, you're Shelbi the podcaster. I'm Allen the window tinter. People know us for who we are, and we would never be where we're at if we didn't take that risk. So
Yeah.
take that risk and believe in yourself.
Beautiful advice. I couldn't have said it any better. Oh, do you have any last words that you'd like to throw in?
The gym is for everybody. More than welcome to come. And if you see me at the gym, just shoot me some questions and I'll definitely talk to you and answer anything you might have. And, you want to get some workouts in, I'm cool with that too, as long as you're going to be there about 4 a.m. Other than that, man, the gym community, what you're doing here is amazing and I commend you on it. And I just can't wait to see where it goes.
Thank you. All right, you guys. Now, I have homework for you all. I need you to go subscribe to our YouTube and our Spotify. It helps us out so much. Make sure you also go find our Instagram so you can stay up to date with what is to come. Episodes are coming out on Tuesdays at 4 a.m. Now, I also have to shout out our sponsors. So, Training from the Ground Up, Orange Theory Fitness, and Maximus. Make sure you go get all of your shakes and protein. And lastly, have a beautiful day, friends. Bye. A huge thanks to Maximus Nutrition in San Angelo, Texas for sponsoring this episode. Make sure you hop over there if you are looking to fill your performance game. They can help you with supplements, shakes, proteins, you name it. They have it and they are ready to answer your questions. So if you're looking to step up that game, Maximus Nutrition is your spot to shop.